Hello and welcome back to the Realmhattan Project. It is a lovely Friday night. We have been graced with all kinds of G.I. Joe pre-orders all week. Everybody's loving that. And I'm excited to be here. How about you guys?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no, definitely. We got some
Great
good
week.
guests this week, and yeah, ready to go.
All right on. How's your week been?
Same, same as every week. Just work, work, work. Me and wife took off today and went to a Dominican barbecue spot in
Hmm.
in Brooklyn called Bark Barbecue. They advertise Texas style with a with a Dominican twist. Um, it was good. It was definitely not worth the price of what we paid for, but this was my Father's Day dinner, so to speak, because taking the kids out to eat, they're so damn picky. The only place we ever wind up going is damn Outback. That's all they ever want to go to. So it's like, yeah, let's take the time off, just go ourselves, and yeah, you know,
I'm going there in 2 months.
where?
To Outback?
Dominican,
I mean, hey, I mean,
Making
yeah,
plans.
I
Dominicana,
got.
Dominican
Oh
Republic.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Vacation?
yeah. It's like a big family vacation, everyone together.
Just
That's what's
flying,
up.
flying out there.
Yep, yep. That's kind of the only way to get there.
Well, no, we went
By
last
boat.
year, but we did it. It was a cruise. We went on a cruise, and
Cruise.
one of the stops
Oh,
was
I got
DR.
you.
So yeah, that was the first time I've been to DR.
Ricky, how's your week been?
Been pretty good, man. Lots and lots of work. Lots and lots of baseball. Wash, rinse, repeat. Here with you guys. Got plans for this weekend. We're gonna go up to Jacksonville, do like the hotel up there, and hang out with the kids and do. The boys want to take me to an escape room. And so
Oh,
we
Oh,
nice.
nice.
specifically had to go to the one in Jacksonville because I guess it's a Batman themed escape room. So they think
Yeah, all of them are different.
So is
you
it was
know,
it like an Arkham? You have to escape?
I'll let you know after I do it. I don't know. I don't. It's
Have you
like,
done one before?
oh, I've done a bunch of escape rooms, but not a
Okay.
Batman themed one.
Yeah, those are fun. I
Yeah,
like
I
doing
love
those.
to do them. Yeah, we usually do pretty good at them, but we'll see. We're gonna go out to dinner while we're up there. And just hang out, and have fun. Might hit Jacksonville Zoo, take the kids there, and then back to doing it all over again. We're getting close. I think it's been a couple of weeks since we've updated on baseball, but postseasons, the kids are 12-2. We go to states at the end of this month, so I think actually the next time we have a show is the week of states. So I didn't think about that till I just said it out loud. So
That's a good record.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing really good. So we'll see what we do. It'd be nice to get out of Florida for a baseball tournament. So
Mm.
if they win there, usually they end up in like Tennessee or something for nationals. Or they do quadrants first, right? Like southeast and northeast and all that. Because I think they have one in Georgia.
Usually,
Yeah, so they end up in Georgia if they go far enough, and then if they get past that, they go to the World Series thing, the Nationals thing. And I think that's in Tennessee or Cooperstown or somewhere else. So we'll see. We'll see how far they get.
All right.
And there you go, Dare. I think Eric B hacked your thing over there. Yeah. We're only important because of our guest tonight. Thanks, guys. I was giving Eric B crap about that. He's like, I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm like, oh, because Sony and Ben are coming on. Now you're gonna watch.
damn, Frank paused the boys for you guys tonight.
Oh, when
Derek,
does it air? Is it?
It just
Is it
came out
And
Friday?
so yesterday
Yesterday,
just
yeah,
the
it
other
started
day.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So the
Yeah.
first
they dropped three
I gotta watch it.
episodes.
Derek, how's
Somehow
your
my
week?
wife is into it too, so I got lucky.
yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. Wash, rinse, repeat. Do the same thing next week, minus the
Derek?
Father's Day stuff.
Derek,
So,
The only guy on this
Gord
panel
asked you
named Derek.
twice. How's your week been?
What?
Three times.
no, Ricky was still talking. I
Three
didn't. I
times.
didn't. Ricky was still talking, so I
Don't
didn't.
don't blame me for your nonsense. He asked you 3 times.
Not. No, you were still talking. I didn't want to cut you off. All right. So What's up,
Hey,
everybody?
Derek,
Hey,
how was your week?
it was pretty cool, man. I'm as y'all know, I've been on this new age these new age figures journey, and it's been really cool. And I just put um New Age Michael Omega Supreme together, and I got the battery in today. So I got to playing with that, and let it run around the track a few
Bring
times.
back memories.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Because and speaking of bringing back memories, I still have my G1 Omega Supreme, and I was gonna put that one next to it just to see, just to let them run together. But yeah, it was really cool to see it. I did a video of it, so um, hope we don't get a copyright strike. But yeah, it's that's it right there. But Brink told me the other night, yeah, he got a battery in his, and he ran around 5 times, and the battery drained out. Dude, I don't know what kind of battery you using, but the battery I bought a Duracell battery for it. Got it off of Amazon, and I bought two of them. They was like $4 each, and I put it in there. It just ran for a while. It just kept running and running and running and running. It ran way beyond 5 times. So,
It's funny as he just asked you that in the chat too.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, it the battery it did battery hasn't died yet. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. But yeah, man, I'm loving those figures. I already had Optimus, Soundwave, Megatron. I got Reflector, the camera, and I just got that Omega Supreme, the Shatterglass Skyfire, um, Prowl. This is a little tinier than I expected it to be. Ironhide, Grapple, and Grimlock. So
What were you expecting? I showed you that Magic Square standing next to each other.
I don't
Well, he
know.
had to repurchase the prowl before
Oh,
he learned.
Yeah.
He's a
new age
a
elitist.
legend. He's a Legends rookie right now. So
Yeah. So, but no, it's been a cool week as a result of being able to play with those. I got some additional desk box to play around with. So yeah, and that's why your batteries only lasting only 5 rotations. Because you found a pack of
Cheap ass batteries.
he said pack of 6 batteries for $4, dude.
That's wild, dude.
The the kids in the sweatshop, thank you for your support.
Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah, because that's where he got the mugs from.
wow. Okay.
Man, no, get Duracell, dude. Just get a name brand battery so it won't, have to have that problem. But yeah, man, my week's been cool. Thanks for asking.
All right on. Sony, how's everything been going?
Pretty good. Hey, thanks for having me on the show, by the way. I got to hang out with you guys recently, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I lost for all eternity. I will have to face Ricky in having lost spades to this man. So one
Let's
day rematch.
don't feel bad because that second game before the rain game, Ricky and what's his name?
Brandon,
Brandon were
Baltimore
about to get
Brandon.
the asses whipped.
Yeah. Okay. So EE's talking about his ass because Sony's talking about facts. EE's talking about dreams. Them two different things.
Uh-huh.
What happened to the score card? The score card probably got thrown away.
It started raining. Remember, started raining and
The
blowing
wind came, blew everything off right in
Yeah.
the first hand of that second game. So
All right, we'll see. Derek is still bad about that game. My week was good. I'm also a Legends virgin, not virgin. I mean,
Not anymore.
a newbie.
Newbie, yeah.
Got one
I'm
in
just
hand.
kidding.
Not anymore.
Only if it says EX, then I can get it.
Oh,
Otherwise,
you a size queen. Got it. Look at
so
you.
no, EX is the color,
The painted one.
the
Yeah.
painting.
it's
I mean,
the painted one.
it's smart. Keeps you.
Oh yeah, I got Ultra Magnus
It keeps
too. I
you
forgot
keeps
about
you
that, yeah.
disciplined.
Yep. So I got that. I got this thing, which is pretty cool. It's a little chibi, so if it's not your style, then you won't like it. But this was sent to me by Blockies. It's the first one in the U.S., by the way.
Right.
But
Flex.
it has a light up thing, so you just put this little Autobot symbol on its chest. Why is it all blurry? And it lights up, and then it
Nice.
lights up inside here too. So it's pretty dope. I like it.
Hmm.
The only thing I wish it came with like a stand to like do like a flying pose, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. I can't remember. BotCon. I'm excited for that next week.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
There's
my God,
some
that's next week.
cool
Damn.
stuff getting
Oh,
revealed.
2 weeks. It's 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Close enough.
Oh, is it 2 weeks? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Last weekend of the month.
I'm going to every convention. I'm going to
I
TFCon
see.
Toronto.
Man, you making the
I'm
rounds.
going to BotCon. I'm going to TFCon Baltimore. I
Mm-hmm.
went to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to every single one. So
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a
Man,
lot.
we had a blast in LA.
You can take me off Zoom.
But we don't want to. You're the best
get the
looking one
camera
of
off.
us.
Get the camera off.
All clean shaven.
That's
Yo,
cute.
Tony,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize it, but I got the EX version of
Yeah.
Agnes.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
that one too.
I haven't even opened this one yet, so
So I'm trying to figure out how to display them. That's the main thing. That's why they're all in boxes because I can't figure
I'm
out.
not playing them. I'm playing with them. So
Yeah, they're fun to
that's
mess
why I'm
with.
only getting a few.
Display them with your Titans and your big bots. They look
That's
good.
Yeah.
so back. It's right over my left shoulder. That's where it's
Mhm.
gonna go.
Yep.
All those Titans.
Yeah, I saw your Nemesis and Arc. I figured that'd be a good spot to drop them in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, no, work's been good. Everything's been good. Been relaxing in the evenings and then the daytime. Anyone have a pool? Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I
Got a
wish.
community.
So we bought a pandemic pool.
Yeah.
So
What's a pandemic pool?
a
And
pandemic pool is like
about
a
an above-ground pool?
$500. It's like
At like Costco or BJ's where they
like
have.
a
Okay,
Walmart,
okay.
a Walmart pool. It was $500 or $400. Put it up. We thought, okay, if it lasts one season and we throw it away, it's good enough, you know. It's still going. This is like the third or fourth season. It is such a pain to clean the pool.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like every week. I bought a robot because I was like, I'm tired of this. So I bought a robot, and this technology is amazing. So this thing, you charge it once and then you never charge it again because it's solar powered. So
Oh.
it charges by the sun, and then it basically turns off when it's out of battery, recharges, and then it kind of like navigates around your pool and cleans it up. But no matter what you do, it's nonstop work cleaning the pool. So
Mhm.
anyway, I went swimming today. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, but yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
Oh, so you was just getting out the pool when I sent you that link. So he was like, "Oh shit, I'll be there in a minute." I was like, "Okay."
No, I told her to remind me because I was definitely going to forget. Definitely going to forget. Friday night is movie night at my house, so
Oh, okay.
the whole family.
we-
No,
Appreciate you taking time then.
Yeah, man.
no, it was done. It was done.
Oh, okay.
My
Oh,
daughter
he's
goes,
like, no,
Oh,
we did that
okay.
already.
yeah, it was like
Oh,
8:30.
okay.
8:30.
I was about to
go
feel
bed.
bad. I was just like, "Yo, we interrupting your movie night?"
No,
Oh,
no.
Never
man.
mind. We don't appreciate you now, I guess. Huh? Oh my god! Now my camera's being glitchy. I hate the internet.
But that's it for me.
Yeah. Ben, how's everything been going?
It's great. Everything's been good. Yeah, I seen you guys again a few weeks ago, I think.
Mhm.
Yep.
It was cool. Cool. I was watching y'all Spades game
Dude.
from afar.
Next time you play.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
I don't
yes,
play cards
yeah,
too
yeah.
much.
Ben, next time you play.
I hear my big ass mouth talking shit the whole time. I don't care. We was losing. I was talking shit.
Wait, I thought you
Wow.
got in. Hey, Ben, I thought you got in on the second game. Or was that? Or was that
Nah,
okay.
I was spectating.
Yeah.
You don't play
yeah,
too many cards, but it's cool.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was
But nah,
I
we
was
had
late
fun doing that though.
because I usually record my new podcast on Fridays, so I had to adjust.
Right.
Yeah, I had to adjust a little bit. So we was just wrapping up. That's what took me so long. I
Oh,
had to
okay.
switch some stuff over. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, it's been good. I ain't really get too much. I got this thing, MMC.
MMC.
Ignis.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope figure.
Mm-hmm.
Got in vehicle mode because I didn't finish the reverse transformation and other transformations that I'm gonna make a video for. But
Okay.
um, Yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all was getting into Legends. I've been into Legends, but I ain't bought any really too much except Grimlock. I did get
Okay.
Grimlock. Trying to
I'm
figure out
pretty
where it
close
was.
to having a complete 1 through 4 set now.
All right. So I gotta interrupt here. Is this an inside joke or something?
He's wearing a rub sign on his shirt.
Oh, I want to rub Ben's chest.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't notice
Oh
the shirt.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
You
saw
know what?
Brink
I
notes
didn't
that,
notice it
and
either. I
I'm
was like,
like,
what?
I'm like,
okay,
what's
Brink.
that about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had this shirt on at BotCon, and was it BotCon? Yeah, it was BotCon in Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's what's up.
I knew what you were saying, Brink. I was picking up what you were
I
dropping.
miss. I totally just missed the
I
shirt.
totally missed it.
I just saw Brink's comment, and I'm like,
I didn't see it till it
So
flashed out on the
is
screen.
it something I don't know about Brink? Did I miss a joke somewhere?
Mhm.
But yeah. But nah, welcome.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys having me on.
Man, we
We
appreciate you
appreciate you
being here,
guys coming
making the
here. Yeah.
adjustments for
Excited to
your
have
Friday
you.
night.
Yeah,
You know?
nah, of course.
So we wanted to, get into like the whole, reviewing and content creation scene. Now, Ben, could you tell us what got you started making content and doing reviews?
Well, it was a combination of things. Like I wanted to start. I had a YouTube for like ever. So if you see when I started, it's like 2007 or 6 when it
Dang, you
came
was
out.
super early. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything with it for years and years. So, and I always tell the story like really, Bobby got me into like the actual collecting, and that's when I saw a couple videos, a couple of reviewers, like back in the day, I guess like older reviewers. I didn't really like how they did their reviews, but then when I saw Bobby, like I'm not as critical as him, but like just seeing the realness, I thought, oh, I could do this. Like I always thought it was just like a showcase thing. Like
True.
this is that, and that's all only reviews I've seen. So when I saw his, it was like, oh, okay, so you can be you can be critical, you can, really review these things. So I just started wanting to do it, and I just started doing it. Just recorded, didn't know what I was doing. I think I was in my old apartment when I started, and yeah, I had a little table, and just started turning on the camera. That's it. That's why I tell everybody that want to do YouTube or do anything on YouTube, just record.
Just start.
You're not gonna be good in the beginning.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
about
so
you?
that's pretty much how I started, and there was a couple other reviewers because, as people know, I don't just review Transformers and third party and collectibles. I review tech. Is a couple tech reviewers that like I wanted to review tech because I'm into a lot of tech. So
Is
that's
it the
one of the
same
reasons
channel, or
why.
you have another channel?
No, it's all mostly on the same channel.
Same one?
I mean, it's mostly the bulk of my reviews are third party Transformers, but I just do whatever. That's why it's influences interest and not just
Transformers.
Transformers or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
it's everything I'm interested in because I didn't want to be pigeonholed. I know it's harder. Like you can see by a lot of people won't subscribe because it's not niche down enough, but I don't care. So
All
I
right.
didn't want to be pigeonholed. I
You
wanted
do
to do
you.
what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I got the super lame question for you that I ask all people that do this stuff. Gun to head, house is on fire. Which is the one third party transformer you're grabbing and taking with you?
Probably Gabriel, just because
EX9.
Omega is one of my favorite characters ever.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
You'd be sweating by the time you get outside, though.
I know.
Toting that bad boy around, throw it on your
I
back
was
like
looking
a
at it now. I'm like, that's a big ass figure.
Yeah. Like carrying a small child.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's what my fiance. She's like, that thing need to pay rent.
All right, Sonny. What about you, man? What got you into reviewing and making content?
By the way, I'm a fan of Ben, so I
Hmm.
do watch some stuff. I don't really comment that much, but I do watch
No,
it.
I watch you too. So
Yeah. But I appreciate it. So Bobby's at the beginning of my story too. You know, he's in there for sure. Third party was I discovered it through him. Paik also is one of the very very first people I met in this, and actually I did an interview with him like way way early on, and then I kind of started a show with him. So I think it was just being honest, you know, having a truthful, honest opinion. And one thing I discovered as it went along is eventually people will offer you stuff to look at. And one issue I have now is I don't want any stipulations. Like,
Mm,
so Blocky sent me this, right? But they didn't give me any stipulations other than one of the things they sent me. They said it was in Chinese on the box, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make a U.S. package, so don't show the Chinese box." I was like, oh, "Okay, I don't care. You know, I'm not gonna show the box."
mm,
But other than that, they didn't say you have to say this or do this or show this. I just tell them
Mhm.
what I think. You know, I like it. If I something I don't like, I say that too. So
okay.
one time I got product that it broke out of box. It just like fell apart, like literally fell apart. I had it recorded, and I told the person to send it to me. I'm not going to say who. And they're like, "Well, don't put the video." I was like, "I have to put the video. That's what I do." You know, I had to tell people that this product
Wow.
has this issue, and then they were like, "No, we can't do that. You know, we have a relationship with that company, and we can't do that." And I said, "Well, then I can't do reviews for you." So that kind of explains, you know, why I'm into this because it was, you know, being able to tell my honest opinion. And then over time, people kind of started trusting my opinion, so that felt good. You know, people saying, "Yeah, you know, I like watching your stuff," because they're either aligned with my opinion or they just like the fact that I have an opinion. So I kind of align with what Influence was saying is, you know, being able to just say what you feel type of thing. One of my very first videos though was a KO video. It was about KOs. Like actually, my very first
Mm,
video is a video about KOs because I got into the MP game late. So if you did like remember the Dotson Bros and
mhm.
the Lamb
Yeah.
Bros. So if you didn't get them in the beginning, it was really hard to get them. The only way to get them was the KO. So I bought them.
Mm.
And then Bobby put up a
Takasa
video.
Tony.
To Casa Tony, yep. Bobby put up a video. It was called "No KO OK," and then
I remember that one.
I put up a video. KO is okay.
I remember
Um,
that too.
just a you know a
Yeah.
debate, and I got a call from I don't remember his name. He had a podcast. Um, Dante, I think is his name. I don't remember. Anyway, it's this guy called me up. Is like, hey, you know, we want to have you and Bobby on and talk about this topic. And I'm like, oh man, they're setting me up. They're just trying to they're trying to take me. So, but that was like the kind of the first meeting of there's this whole community out there. I didn't even know that this existed. I just thought
Mm,
there was reviewers, and so that's what keeps me in it. Like I would have quit a long time ago if I didn't have this like this kind of thing.
Same.
You know what we're doing tonight. You know what we hanging out with Bobby or hanging out with Peak or other friends I made through this. Like if it wasn't for that, I'd be out. Like it would not
Yeah,
be my interest.
I feel the same way about this whole hobby. If it wasn't for the people I met, the people I hang out with, I think I would have lost
Yeah.
interest a long time ago.
yeah. Yeah. Same.
Once in a while, I come down here. I look at him like,
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
should I get rid of this? Like, is this it? Can I be
I think I
done?
did
And then
that
I'm like,
yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, it's weird. Like sometimes you go through that, like, especially as you're getting older.
Mm.
That's a deep topic.
Yeah.
I think I go through that every time I get a new package. Like, what did I just do?
yeah, I've never gotten to the point where I'm actually pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
Usually
me
I'm
neither.
like, okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. Let me sell it. That'll make me feel better. But every once in a while, I come down here. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Mm.
But
Well, you gotta love it, and
I still love it though. Yeah, that's what I was about
yeah,
to say.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's the other end.
and a brand like the GI Joe Classified line, has helped spark a lot of the excitement of collecting again, and
hmm
I mean, Legends did definitely re-spark the Transformers collecting for a while, but once then GI Joe came around, and I was like, all right, I'm enjoying what I'm buying right now,
mhm.
even though I'm like, what the fuck am I buying? Like, why am I buying every single GI Joe Classified? I don't need every single one, but that's just
See,
how I've been
Yeah,
lately with
I
that
think
Cla-
I
particular
think
line right now.
Classified was one where I was collecting every single one. I had them all, and then I
Hmm.
was like, and they were unboxed, by the way. They weren't opened, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I? And I was like, let me just collect what I love,
yeah,
and then if so, my rule now is if I can't take it out of the box, I can't put it on display, then I don't deserve to own it. Because what
mm.
am I doing? Storing
Yeah,
it in a closet? Derek's
yeah,
smiling because he probably has it. But like, what are you doing if you're storing it in a closet? What are you doing with it? Right? You're
I
not enjoying it. You're not playing with it. At least not
Yeah.
looking at it. Right?
yeah.
So why
I
have it?
think we as reviewers too. I know we talked about this at Bobby's, but you can get jaded too
yep.
from looking at so much stuff, and it
Yeah.
can kind of take the joy from it.
Mm.
Because as soon as you get it, you're worried about reviewing it. You got to get it transformed, figure it out, then review it. And I mean, I know I'm not getting it first, so I don't really try to rush as much as I used to. But that's the name of the game, though. When you're reviewing, you get in the figure, and you're like, oh, I gotta figure it out. I gotta hurry up, get the video out, and it kind of jades. Like I've really took a step back and was like, listen, I'm not gonna be first anyway, so um,
Hmm.
I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna mess with it. If I get the video out tomorrow, the next day, maybe next week, like it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
Yeah. If you're not having fun and enjoying it, then why are you doing it?
Yeah,
exactly,
we
Can I
had
answer
that's
Brink's
yeah. I'm sorry,
question?
Tony. Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna post that up in a second.
yeah.
But I'll post it now. So,
yep.
can Sony and Ben say what the analytics say for their viewers' age range? I'm curious how far past 45 it may go.
It goes far. So mine is
let me look.
40%. So 42% is 35 to 44, which is us. 45 to 54 is 24%. 55 to 60, you raised this. 55 to 64 is 1%. And then 65 plus, there's people out there, is a half percent.
Oh man,
How?
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
nursing home
got
range. Yeah.
18 to 24 for me is 10%. 25 to 34 is 24%. 35 to 44, 34%, and 45 to 54 is 31%. And I don't have any for 55 to 64 or 65 plus.
Because I'm
That
old.
means Derek didn't subscribe.
So I'm
Wow.
so the shots. Shit, I'm
Wow.
sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but I'm close
No,
to
you
that.
good.
I'm like, man, I'm about to be out my own age range in a minute.
What about females? How much you got females?
Let me
I'm just
see.
Y'all
curious.
got an analytic for that too?
Yeah, we
Male,
do.
female? Oh wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
got 93% male and 7% female.
I
Okay.
got 95% male and 95.4 and 4.6% female.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Wow. There's some interesting there's some interesting stats.
it's always
Yeah.
Data,
been
data,
very
man,
true.
data.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting. Good
Yeah.
question, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a
And
good question.
and for those of y'all, you know what? I'll be 50 this year. I'm not 65 yet, you jackasses.
He's
Anyway,
gonna be
so
he's gonna be 50. He's gonna be 50 this year for the 20th time.
you're right. Okay. Um I can't even answer my
I
He
hear that,
started
man.
counting backwards 35 years ago.
question. Right.
But he's still
Um
young. Look at him.
yeah, you
Still
damn
young.
right. Yeah. Um so Ben, you had said that Bobby had influenced you into what you're doing right now. I don't know if was it the same for you, Sony, or was it someone else that actually influenced you, or you just you know just found yourself just doing it.
I mean, third party is what Bobby. I would consider him the godfather of third party because kind of introduced. He got the most buzz and the most spread of third party from his channel.
Okay.
After once he was got going, a whole bunch of other reviewers came on the scene, and then that was kind of forgotten. But I would say back then he was one of the very few. I only started in 2015, so before that, there weren't as many. The pandemic happened, and then there's like thousands and thousands of reviewers. But
Yeah.
but at that time, like I would say before 2014, as 2009 timeframe, there weren't that many, and there weren't that many looking at third party, and he was almost exclusively looking at third party. So that was one thing. Like it opened up a whole new. Like I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. The
So
first thing that I bought was Warbitron, Bruticus. That was the first video I saw of his.
Mm, mm.
and then
I
Okay.
Pake was
bought
kind
the
of
set.
a one off with his relationship with Ocular Max. That's always something I was like, oh, I'm a little envious, but at the same time, I, he also has controls and things he has to do. Like he has to make videos for the
Mhm.
instruction manual. Like that's a lot of pressure if you
Yeah,
think about it. You
yeah.
got to
When you
do
got
it timely. You got
deadlines.
to do it right. They even asked him because in the Asian market, that hotspot you got, Ben,
Hmm.
he had to make two videos because in Asia it was released in robot mode, and in the US it's released
Oh,
in car mode or vehicle mode. So he had to make two videos, one in each mode going the other direction. So you have some you know, things you got to do if you have a relationship like that. But I was always envious of like, hey, how did he even get to this point of being that tight with them? So Bake was another influence on me too.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of those guys, it's just like one email conversation. They just happen across that one guy at a show who happens to know somebody, and then boom, next thing
Yep.
you know, that's how you get stuff like that.
That he'll tell you it was just pure luck, right place, right time type of thing.
I
That's what he says.
just realized my question. Okay. Um. So we all a lot of us know the process for creating these videos is a lot longer than the actual video itself. Can you all speak to the process and how long it actually takes you to do these videos? I only ask that because there's potentially a lot of people that watching this now, and they may have some interest to it, but they want to know how much work actually
Mm.
goes into doing these videos. Can both of you speak to that?
Yeah. You want to go first, or
um, yeah, I can. It's probably the same for both of us as far as like, you know, relatively speaking. Um, it takes a lot because you got to learn it. I add that into with the time that it takes to make the video, and
yep,
then recording, and then recording a video. It could be if you record a 30-minute video, you might record an hour or hour and a half, depending, and you got to edit it. Editing is another beast that I'm tired of doing. Um, and I don't only I make videos for Amazon as well, so
mm,
like that it's a lot, and like with the tech stuff, like I get a lot of tech stuff sent to me, so that's another what you were speaking about. Um, Sony, like with the deadlines and stuff, like that's on that side for me. So I got to do that, and just it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than people understand. But I mean, it takes days, really. It might you might film, like I said, an hour and a half, or whatever, depending on how long, how quick or how good you are at the transformation. Let me put it that way, because there's some of these figures, and some of the newer figures that got transformations that are insane. That's why the MMC figure was refreshing
Yeah.
figure because it's so easy to transform. But yeah, it's not an easy process, and editing, depending on how good you are or how how quick you are, it can take a good chunk.
Just go live. Just do it
Yeah,
live. Just do it
that's
live.
think about
It's,
Peak. Peak
what
is
Pink does is
a baller.
insane to me.
He's a baller because think about that. You're gonna go live on camera with this thing you touched,
Once, yeah, like
for
you just
for an
got it.
hour, right?
Yeah,
He'll get it at like let's say he'll get it at 6 p.m. Like the crate or whatever, I guess the pallet shows up at his house. He pulls one off, opens it up, messes with it. He goes live at what, like 9? So
Hmm.
between 6 and 9, he has to figure out everything to be confident enough to go live and show you how to transform. Like that's crazy to me.
yeah, and he doesn't have
I don't know
directions a
anyone who
lot
can
of
do that.
times, does he?
Yeah, for the prototypes he doesn't.
Yeah,
So like
that's
if
crazy.
anyone out of this community, Paige has a talent for that. I don't know anyone who'd be brave enough to do it. But yeah, it's about the
He
same. So I
doesn't
was
believe anybody transforms without instructions. He thinks everybody that says that's a lie.
Yep.
who?
Me. Like if you do it, I don't believe anybody does it without instructions. I call them
Oh
all
really?
liars. Yeah. I cannot ever. I have to always either find someone's video, like who did this to try to figure this out, because I don't have that talent to just be like, this looks like it goes here and goes there.
I mean,
Nope.
it depends what it is, right? If you're taking a
Yeah,
Takara figure out, you probably don't want to do it without instructions because you might break it. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna break it. But if you're pulling out like a new age, I could pull this sludge, which haven't even opened it. But their transformations are so intuitive, you could probably just figure it out.
Dude, I don't
Often I
know.
do.
Sony,
I think Sony
I'm a
just
guy,
called me
I
stupid.
don't use a lot of, I don't use a lot, hey,
He just called me
Sony, I don't
slow.
use a lot of instructions. I don't use a lot of instructions, but I would pay to watch you do that sludge with no instructions. Because that one,
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
one
it's
part
hard.
that messed me
Okay.
up. It's not hard. There's one part. It's the tucking of the arms into the back because it transforms different than any other sludge you've transformed before.
Yeah.
And you have to get them a certain way to get that back to close around them. It doesn't go.
I will say if somebody sends me something, I will not risk it because I don't want to break somebody else's shit. So
Oh, right.
I will look up the instruction. I mean, usually if there's a video out, if I'm not the first, then I'll go watch that video. But I won't risk it on somebody else's. But if it's mine and it's not like X Transbots or something more complex or fans toys, I'll probably just do it. Hey Chris.
You're a way nicer guy than me, dude. Because if they send it to me, I'm like, dude, you know what the fuck you were in for. We're going in here ham.
So we got a question from the question that's been asked 1,000 times, but
Well, the third party being 5 years. So yeah, this came up because fans hobby is going the way of GI Joe,
Mm.
right? They're trying to branch out.
mm-hmm.
hmm
MMC's
Yeah,
branching
really
out to
excited.
different things. Trying to do crossovers, stuff like that. I think fans toys is probably locked in for a couple years at least because they've shown so many things. And same for X Transbots. They've shown so
They
much.
locked in for like 15 years as long as they take it.
Mm.
But can I get back to the other question you were asking because
Yes.
I didn't really finish saying what I was going to say. Do you know how Bobby does his process? He talked about it very briefly in a I think it was a Patreon only. Have you heard it?
I saw that.
How he does his review? It's the craziest thing. So me and you, like a normal reviewer, what we do is open it up, right? We're doing this off camera. Right? We open it up, we transform it a couple, maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times if it's really hard,
Hmm.
and like try to learn it, memorize it. Then we'll start the video, the filming. Filming is the shortest part of the whole thing because you just are doing it, and then editing is another like hour after, depending on how complex it is. But it's really the filming that's the fastest part. Bobby said he doesn't practice it. The way he does it is he will transform a little. So he has it in vehicle mode.
Hmm.
Let's say it comes in robot mode. He puts it into vehicle mode. transforms it backwards, and then films the part going the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yep.
like, how do you
You can
do
definitely
that?
tell. Yeah,
That I mean, that's
you can
got to
definitely tell he
be,
does that.
you know, tons of stopping and starting if to do that, because you're going back and forth between going one direction and going back the other direction. So I couldn't believe when he said that. I mean, it makes sense because he's the volume of stuff he's doing. You wouldn't be able to look at
Yeah.
it and memorize every single one. It's just too much. But yeah, so I would say it's probably like 4 hours for a MP. For like a Legends, this is probably like a 2 hour because it's just easier, simpler. It's less work, less editing.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry. Looking back to your other question.
No, I'm sorry. I thought. Yeah, that was on me.
But that Bobby, I mean, you should talk to him about how he does. It's crazy.
Mm.
I don't know anyone who does it like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
So where
I
would
got,
their
I got,
third
I
party
got,
be?
Where? Yeah.
y'all got anything?
No, I had the same question I wanted to ask that I
Well, I
asked.
mean, we didn't hear from
Me.
Ben yet. And I don't even know if Sony actually got to finish his answer before he was like,
What
he wanted to
where
go
the
back to
third
his other
party
one.
would be?
Yeah.
About the creation process.
He's like,
About the
wait, I
creation
wasn't done with
process.
that question. Don't ask me other questions first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let you guys go on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
go for it,
yeah.
man.
Third party in 5 years. I mean, I think in 5 years, it's hard because there's a lot of things, a lot of new companies, one-off companies coming out, kind of KO shit companies. But it's getting tight because there's not, to tell you the truth, there's not that many characters left for one. And for two, it seems like they don't want to take any chances on the characters that might not sell as much as the mainstream. I think there's enough to last 5 years, another 5 years, but I do think companies will definitely be dwindling. They're already dwindled, but I think X Transbots will be around, Fans Toys will be around, and maybe New Age and Magic Square for Legends. I'm not sure though because they're pumping them out, and the only thing that they're gonna have to do is figure out how they can sustain. I guess they would have to start with Beast Wars and start moving to other, but I don't know if they'll do that. Because there's all these other companies too coming out trying to fill that void. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that question. It's too up in the air. It's hard.
Mhm. I get it.
I think Fans Toys will still be working on Menosaur.
Yeah, like that's you know,
I hope
you
not.
know,
Damn.
just a side question. You guys brought something up. I've always thought about this with these companies. Like you'll see one company do a Devastator or announce a Devastator, and then next thing you know, everybody else is announcing a Devastator at
Yep.
the same time, right?
I hate it.
The Devi Wars.
Well, and they do it it's they all do it to each other with every almost figure they announce. But and as you were
Yeah,
saying, like not taking the risk, like there's I think about the combiners. Like, do you guys don't think that like a Computron or a Predaking or an Abominus would sell as reviewers? That like, do you think that's something that wouldn't sell? Because I think for me, I feel like that's something everybody wants. But
I do
maybe that's
too.
just me.
I think it would sell, but I think they're. I don't know. I don't know what type of where they're looking at the market. Um,
yeah,
I know it's different overseas. I know they don't. From my understanding, they're not even on Transformers like that over there. So I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe they just have a skewed outlook. I think everybody's wanting a Computron or Abominus. It seems like most collectors are looking for those that they need to fill in a Predaking, especially a more G1. Even though that um I blanked.
King
What's
Toys.
yeah King Toys. I blanked real quick. Uh, King Toys Predaking is dope. Like that is a dope looking Predaking, but it's just not close enough to G1 for G1 collectors. or people that want it to fit in with their G1 collection. So I think that would sell, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the third party this is not their bread and butter business. Right?
Yeah.
These are guys that own other businesses that
Hmm.
do other things. The factory runs other stuff. Most of the time, third party toys is just like a small fraction of what they're doing. So if they were to go away, they just go to those other businesses and do other things. Um, make
Supplement
toys.
their income.
Was that? Yeah, supplementary income. They're not gonna rely on just this. And if they do, if they make a figure, if they take the risk, they have to make. So I got contacted by a factory. I don't know why. They must have thought I'm designing things, but I contacted by a factory in China, and they said,
That's
you
good
know, we
insight.
we provide services to produce your figure. And I said, what's the minimum run? Because that's the question I've always had. And they said 3,000 is the minimum run for them to produce anything for me. It doesn't matter what it is. So I was like, okay. So they have to sell three. You have to sell 3,000. I have to sell 3,000 of these things that I make if I want to produce anything. Otherwise, I'm in the hole. And then if I make more, like because that mold is going to cost money. If I make more, then okay, now I'm making extra profit. So maybe that's a question they're asking themselves. And in China and Japan, combiners aren't that popular because they have very small living spaces. They don't have big homes. It's just a fact of life,
Yeah,
in especially Japan and China. Very small apartments, so or housing. So they don't want giant combiners like we do. We want the big combiners. So they take that into account. It's like how many of these can we sell across the world internationally? We might be the biggest market for stuff like that. Big like a Predaking or I mean I want a Copytron, but I don't know. I don't know. Would it sell well over there? I'm not sure. So they might have to branch out into other things, in that 5 year time period. So they have something to fall back on. They're not relying on just us, 50-year-old collectors out here in the United States, Canada, UK, that kind of thing.
that are getting burnt out. Yeah,
Yep.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm going. I don't know. I mean, you got to look at companies like Zeta, who's actually doing those combiners that we want. To say, it can be done. It's just the matter of attention and materials
Yeah.
that you want to use to be able to build these figures. And you know, that's actually another question that I wanted to ask you. Is there a toy line you think is doing the best in terms of materials, engineering, and presence outside
Sorry,
of the obvious fan
I,
toys?
I was about to say. uh,
I got distracted by Chris's comment. He said there are ways to get small runs done. Yeah, if the mold is already there, then of course we can make a small run. You guys proved it,
hey,
right? I mean,
oh,
it's very
true.
hard to do what you guys did. To make a run, it's expensive, it's
Yeah,
risky, but if the mold is there, then that's half the battle.
yeah.
Wait, sorry, what was your what was your other question?
No, I was talking about, is there a toy line that you think is doing the best in terms of materials, engineering, and presence?
Toy
I
line.
think fans hobby's doing great in their little niche, like what they're tackling. I
Mhm.
don't have a lot of their figures, but because I'm not connected to that. But I do have a couple, and I've kept them. So that's telling. Because usually, if I buy something that I'm not connected to, I sell it or get rid of it.
Mm.
I used to buy everything that was cool that I looked at and was like, oh, that's dope. But I knew I would not be, I didn't like it maybe a month later, just because I wasn't connected to it. But yeah, they impressed me with a lot of their stuff.
Mm.
I know they're I've heard people say both. I don't think they use bad materials, but I've heard people say they don't like their materials. I don't know why. Uh,
They don't like their own materials.
No, they're
Good
People that are getting
like the figures, the actual figures, the
right,
actual
right, right.
plastic.
I like it. You
I
know.
think I think it's good. I think they're engineered well and they're
Mhm.
good figures.
Yeah, the Power Baser line itself, and I went all in on the Power Baser line. What they're doing with the Armada line. I mean, I'm not a fan of Transformers Armada, but I love the figures that they're doing in regards to that line.
Yeah,
So
me
you don't
too.
have to be a fan of the actual, you know, the
Yeah,
base
I don't know
content,
anything about it, and
right?
I
You know,
still like their figures.
See,
hmm
Fans Hobby is one that could be around in 5 years because they
I
have
think they
these
could. Yeah,
niche,
yeah,
way
they're
they
changing it
went,
up.
and there's
hmm
no competition in that space, so they could probably keep going. But my answer would be Mastermind Creations. I can't remember the last time I broke something,
oh yeah,
or I had
yeah.
a figure that felt like it was trash. Like, I just can't remember one.
hmm
I don't like everything they make, figure like character wise, but I've never broken a Mastermind Creations figure, as far as I can remember. It's been a while.
Okay.
I can't remember having tolerance issues with anything Mastermind either. Like,
Yeah,
they've always been very well made.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
especially with the tapes that they come out with every year. It's like, yo, I it's not even a scale because it's not even a scale thing for me. I buy it because I know that tape is still gonna be quality
Yeah.
when I get it. The transformation is gonna be, you're gonna have peg parts that pop off maybe every now and then. It depends on how you're transforming it. But overall, that figure, those especially the tape line for MMC and actually all of their like you said, all of their stuff, is really good quality on
yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I don't have
Listen,
one bad thing to say about MC.
I dropped this twice by mistake, of
Which
course. In the
Oh, hotspot.
yeah, hotspot. I mean, it's
oh
fine.
really?
It's
It's
fine.
sturdy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
sturdy.
it's fine. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
But
Like,
their problem isn't
Because there's
materials.
no
Problem.
paint to chip off.
well, that's true.
I was just about to say their problem isn't materials. Their
That's
lack of paint.
really
But
yeah.
yeah, they're a good company for sure.
You got it, Court.
What else we got?
They're uh,
He said MMC is
they're
overrated.
overrated.
Really? Nah.
They're like nothing but fans' toys.
Yeah.
I
Nah.
mean,
I mean,
I
MMC
The
Ocular Max.
Prowler.
Yeah. My first MMC figure was my first Ocular Max figure was that Mirage when it came out.
yeah,
And I've been impressed with them ever since, And it took a while for me to replace that one because we had literally I think it was three different replacements
yep.
for Mirage when it came out. You had the
DX9,
Transform Element one. What
DX9
was
made
that?
one.
Who?
DX9.
Yeah, DX9 made one. Fan Stories came out with theirs, and it was like I didn't really replace it until Fan Stories came out with theirs, and I actually loved every last one of them. But the Transform Element one to me was the one that really won that whole situation.
Hmm.
But that's just me. So,
Now, when you're
uh,
making your content, do you feel that you have a responsibility, um, for like the opinions that you're sharing, and like, do you feel like the effects like of when putting out the videos? Like, have you ever had like a backlash, or do you consider that can be a thing, or
Yes, but I don't take it personally because I could get a figure and you could get the exact same figure, and my experience is different than yours. I think I'm a little bit cursed with Keith because often I'll get something that's very simple that just pops off or breaks, and then people in my comments are like, "I didn't have that issue, I didn't have that problem." So vice versa, the same thing could happen, right? I have a really good copy, and someone out there gets a copy that isn't good and it breaks, and they don't come back and be like, hey, you said this was a good figure and mine broke here. So I don't feel any way about that. The one that it comes up the most though is fans toys. The most comments come when if I say I like a fans toys figure. If I say I like it, I like it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
adjust my opinion based on comments I'm gonna get. Either I like it or I don't. But I get the most comments on those because of the price. Right? It's such an expensive figure that if any one little thing is wrong, people get really upset about it, and then they'll even comment on it on my video that, hey, you said this was good, but mine XYZ thing happened. I'm like, okay, well, my copy didn't. So that's one reason why I don't necessarily. Um, Now our conversation recently was a little bit different because I think your question was centered around, do you feel a responsibility if you recommend a company or you recommend to back something and that company screws their customers? I
That's
think that's a
part of
little
where the question does
different.
come from. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a little different. But since you're just talking about, hey, if I talk about a figure and I recommend it, do I feel some way if people are like, oh, I didn't like it? No, I mean, it's my opinion. You watch my video for my opinion,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
As soon as
Exactly.
I speak, if I say any words, and this is why these Chinese videos are kind of a curse because they don't speak. It's just them playing with the figure and they make it look really good, and
Yeah.
they're very talented, right? Their stop
Hmm.
motion is amazing. Their graphics, their animation, all that's amazing. I'm not taking that away, but because they don't speak, they don't give an opinion, and because they don't give opinion, they don't get any hate. They just don't give any opinion. Because we give an opinion, people like me, Ben, Bobby, whoever who's doing reviews, we give an opinion, you're gonna get comments, and
Mhm.
that's what the this community thing is about, is having that debate discussion. But I don't feel any way if I gave you my opinion and your opinion is different. That's just life.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. The only caveat to that is I've had videos where I said something negative and the figure's not a bad figure, but then people are like, "Oh, I ain't getting that crap." That's from, and I feel like it's from my opinion, and I'm like, well, this is my copy for one, and for two, it's not a
Yeah.
terrible figure. I'm just letting you know, I let you know that what's wrong. Like it doesn't mean it's a terrible figure. So I kind of feel bad sometimes with that. Like if somebody's hanging on to my opinion like
Ah,
that.
don't feel bad.
Um, I, I just feel bad because I'm like you may
I
be
know.
missing out on a good figure for you. Like you
Yeah.
might like this figure, like you might, and that's the reason. Like just because I said something negative, like if it's a bad figure, I'll say it's the whole figure's bad. Like I don't like the whole figure. But even then, that's my opinion. Like you said, it, but that's the only way. I know me and E had a conversation about, and I think you was alluding to that, Sony. Like there's another piece to that. Like if you're backing something and telling somebody to back something,
Right.
now that's something different. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, so like you said, we had touched on this when I saw you guys a couple weeks ago. It was one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on to have the conversation. You know, just for the backstory, like the there was a crowd fund for a 1/18th scale, I believe that was scale Airwolf, right? From the old 80s movie, right? It seems like the company kind of went kaput halfway through. I think it looks like some people got some things and not everybody. Like most people didn't even get it. Um, so there
So it
was
got funded. It got
it got
funded.
funded. It got funded. It got
Yeah.
funded, and it still didn't come out at the time. He had to put out a big. He put out a big post that they've gone defunct. Blah 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 blah. Right. So there was another YouTuber out there named Retro Blasting. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Um, but he had the guy on to promote the Airwolf project. He also did a review on a prototype, right? So when this happened, he came under a lot of heat from people for backing this project, like promoting this project. Like, and people were actually kind of putting some blame on him, telling him he should take some responsibility for backing a project like this. And that's what I wanted, that's what made me start thinking, like, as reviewers and influencers, situations like that, how do you handle it? What do you feel? Do you feel not responsible that it so much failed, but more like, damn, I promoted this. I feel a little bad. I feel this way or that
Yeah.
way, to my reviewers, because, like you said, people will come to your
Right.
channels
Right.
and
I have a
see you
perfect
say, like, I
situation for you.
recommend this. This is good, or no, this is bad. People take a lot of stock into what you guys say. So yeah, that's what I wanted to hear your opinions on.
So Ace from Ramen Toy just sent me the Great White, which is their the mask figure. Mask what's it called?
Mm.
Shark. The mask shark.
Yeah.
And it's an
Oh
early
man,
copy, so it hasn't been made yet. They haven't produced it. There is a risk that,
I pre-ordered it too.
what if Ramen Toy goes, I'm knock on wood, like I'm not trying to wish ill on anybody, but what if Ramen Toy goes bankrupt tomorrow and they never produce that figure, and I put a review out saying I like this figure, it's good. It was my honest review. I like it. But what if tomorrow they say, "Hey, we're not making that. Sorry about your money. It's gone because we paid the factory. You're not getting the product," or maybe they just disappear. And don't,
Mm,
I mean, I don't feel any way because they sent me a product. I reviewed it. I told you how my opinion on that product. Right? I never said you should back this company. This company is never going to go bankrupt. I just said, is this product good or not? That's my honest opinion. And you
mhm.
can take my opinion. And the other thing is verses or comparisons. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, credit to Bobby, who he credits. What's his name? Good John Garinger. I started with his format and then made it my own. But credit to Bobby on the comparisons. But the comparisons are interesting because at the end of the day, the viewer has to decide what they think. I've presented my, information or comparisons or showing you different things, and then you have to decide, what do you want? You want one or the other or both? Sometimes you get both. So again, it's just an opinion. So for viewers giving their opinion, it's just straight that it's their opinion. Now, if this person depends what they said, right? If they said, "Hey, you guys should back this," and they're putting out
That's
videos saying, you
that's what I
know,
said.
continually trying to like promote the campaign,
Hmm.
then I can see where some responsibility belongs to the reviewer. But if they just reviewed the product, someone gave them a product to review, whether it was a prototype or like a pre-production or a production, and they gave your opinion, I don't think they hold any responsibility for the company folding. Right? That's not on them. They just give you their opinion.
Yeah,
That's
I
how I
kind
feel.
of agree somewhat. I think the type of person I am, I would feel some type of responsibility just because, but I don't think you should feel some type of responsibility depending on how you presented it.
Now, how
Like
responsible do you
Tony
feel? Are you
said.
going to come money out of pocket, feel responsible, or just make
Oh
bad
no,
faith?
I'm not paying nobody back. Like that's
I
no,
mean,
I wouldn't
these
go
people
that
are
far.
yelling for that guy's
But
firstborn
I
daughter.
would feel some type of responsibility. Um, but like Sony said, just it depends on how the information was presented too. Like if you're promoting this guy and promoting the back or the Kickstarter, whatever it is, and you just promoting and yeah, y'all put the money into it, that's something different. You're definitely responsible. But if you get a product and you give all your disclaimers like, listen, this is a Kickstarter or this is whatever it is, it might not come to fruition. So I'm not telling you to buy it, but I'm just going to review it. I mean, you don't really have that responsibility, I don't think,
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, he had the guy he had the guy on once to promote it. Um, and then he also reviewed a prototype afterwards. So that's why he came under a lot of heat, it seems, because he actually put out a video about the people coming at
Yeah.
him and saying it, and like I really shouldn't be taking responsibility for any of this, and he was giving his views and opinion,
I
and
would be pissed. I would be pissed at
Yeah.
the person, like
you know
Mhm.
especially if it's some under, if it's problems and people get their money back, it might be slow, whatever. That's one thing. But if you doing some old shady
Yeah.
stuff, like nah, I ain't with that.
This actually happened to me. So um, there was a guy in the. I don't want to say any names, so I'm not gonna bring it up.
Mhm.
But there was a guy in the community. He started a store, and he was hooking me up with stuff pretty early. And I was like, okay, I'll buy some stuff from you, and not everything, just a few things here and there. And then he started getting bigger and bigger. And I said, okay, I'll if you could send me this stuff, I'll mention your store. So I started mentioning his store, and then like a year or two in, he got too big. He got too big, and then he couldn't handle it anymore, and he started taking money and not delivering on the product. I did feel responsibility in that one because I
Okay.
mentioned his name in my videos. By the way, I took down all those videos. I clipped. I went to every video and clipped out the part where I mentioned him because I felt
Mm,
that strongly about it that I don't want anyone to try to do business with.
yeah.
Um, and I told him, I said straight up to him, like, you know, you got to pay these people back multiple times. And anytime someone came to me, I would say, so and so is looking for X, or so and so didn't get their figure. Are you going to pay them back? I'll go straight to them and say, either give them money back or send them the thing. And that one I felt responsibility because I promoted his name and then his store went under. So, I felt a way about that one. But if you send me a product for review, that's just my opinion on the product, and that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah. So promoting companies, you do feel like, you claim the responsibility because of your experience with that company. Because your experience is actually going to be different from anyone else's. Um, um, I'll use uh, I'll use TF Source for an example. We've all had our experiences with TF Source. Some have had great experiences, some have had terrible experiences, and that's based on what you actually purchased there. And if you like, say, if you had a defective figure that came in, depending on how their support works, you
Right.
know, they'll either help you out and get you all settled with that or not. Um, everyone has their own opinions and their own experiences when it comes to this. Now, when it comes to what you were talking about, as far as people ordering stuff and not getting their stuff, and at the same time not getting their money back, that's on them. you know and no way it should be your responsibility, because at the time when you were giving those opinions, that situation didn't exist. So
Mhm.
now that the situation exists now, and you feel like you want to go back and edit all that type of stuff to take you out of the loop of that, it doesn't erase the fact that, people that actually did see it at the time, they're still going to see that. But if
Yeah, but
you're
I could
a
stop the bleeding.
reasonable,
I could
if
stop the
you're
bleeding.
well,
Mhm.
true, but a reasonable person would not come to you and be like, "Well, you recommended him to me. Now this is happening." Yeah,
That
I
happened.
recommended to you based on
That's a
what's going
reality,
on at
Derek.
the
It
time.
happened. It happened more
I
than
Yeah,
mean,
once.
have you met a lot of? Have you seen the community sometimes? Not a lot of reasonable people around here sometimes,
that's why I
and that
said
can
if
and
you're a
look, that
reasonable
includes us
person.
sometimes. We all have our. I know I have my little unreasonable moments too, but
Mhm. Yeah, I
But you
mean,
asked the
like,
question, right? Do I feel responsibility? I would say no on reviewing a product, as long as I was honest. Like had I put out this, so remember I told you I got a figure and it broke as soon as I took it out of the box.
yeah.
I caught it on
mhm,
film and everything. Had I put that video out and said this is a great thing, you should go buy it, and then people bought it because of what I said, then I would feel responsibility because I wasn't honest.
mhm,
But as long as I'm honest, in at least the one I got is here's how it performs, then
Yeah.
I don't feel any responsibility. But because this one this one's a little different because I promoted this guy's store. You know, he's starting out, he's trying to get going. I promoted it.
Yeah.
So I do feel a way, especially when someone comes to me and says, "Hey, the only reason I went to him is because you mentioned his name. Otherwise, I was not going to buy from that guy." So that's why I feel the way, Derek. But
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like with retro blasting, he had him on twice, but like Derek said, as the situation was going, this is a Kickstarter. Now I'm gonna review the prototype. Like, I don't see him doing anything wrong or being held responsible for, everything was going fine.
right.
Just to put a little caveat on all this. Turns out we found this out yesterday that another company is going to help back and finish the project for the people. So good for them. Like, it looks like some people, they might finally get this out. But
Mm.
this happened. It's been a month and a half, 2 months since all that. Since he told everybody that there's nothing I can do anymore. We're defunct. We're done. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kickstarters have can be risky in and of itself. And that's another question I wanted to ask. Like, would you guys do something like that for like a Kickstarter? Not like ramen. Ramen is a refutable company. They put out their toys, so chances are you're gonna get what you get from ramen, right? Whether it's good or bad, right? Having them on, but something like this with a Kickstarter, is that something you guys would even consider having somebody on to promote?
No.
Yeah, I try to stay away from that because of that. uh, it's it depends though. If it's somebody that, like you said, that has a track record of fulfilling, if this is not their first Kickstarter and they fulfilled multiple, I
Yeah.
may. Let me say that. I ain't gonna say I will, but
Yeah. It depends on the model. Like Ramen Toy will be upfront and say we need to have this many units sold, and if we
mhm.
don't, we're not making it, and you get your money back. Right? And they're upfront about it. Um, so I think once you've built your reputation, then maybe you can do that, and people will trust that. Okay, if it did get that many units, you're going to make it. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't go for Kickstarter just because it's too many variables, especially because people who are doing Kickstarters are doing it probably for the first time, right? So the risk is
Yeah,
even higher. Like
yeah.
they haven't done this before. Like what if they screw up just the business end of things, right? They might just not understand some of the ins and outs of the business, especially if you're
Hmm.
working with factories in China. It's a whole nother ball game of how to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't think of ramen as a Kickstarter. They're more of a build to order company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What most people miss out on the Kickstarters is in the fine print is the money you're paying to a
It's gone.
Kickstarter. It's actually for the R&D. You're not
Right.
actually
Yeah.
paying for the product. You're
Right.
paying for the R&D with the promise that if the R&D works, they'll give you
They get
something
the
to
product.
be the
Hmm.
Yeah.
product.
Hmm.
So that's how a lot of people end up getting screwed on Kickstarters. Oh, I'm gonna give them money. I'm gonna get something. No, technically, you gave them money to figure out if they can make you something. That's not the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
And people again at no point in time. And I've hung out with both Sony and Ben. They're as chill and laid back as they are on here. That's how they are in real life. Ain't neither one of them ever pulled a gun on somebody and said you better go buy this toy because I'm telling
Hmm.
you it's good. So at the end of the day, we're all adults. You decide to put your money into something. People don't like to blame themselves. They always look for somebody else to put the blame on. So who's the next person I can blame? I'm not gonna blame me. I didn't make a mistake, so it must have been Sony for telling me it was good. It must have been Ace for not making the toy. It's always somebody else's fault. But don't give them money. If you don't know them, don't give them money. It's the same thing we do when we buy stuff in Facebook groups. We have all these rules of friends and family and goods and services. We do all these things to cover our own asses because you don't know who you're giving money to.
Yeah.
I don't understand the intent of, even if you've had them on their show, how you would be responsible for my money and how I spent it. Like that doesn't make sense to me,
Right.
regardless.
Well, like Dare said here, some people do take these reviews word for law.
Hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why I did want Sony and Ben on, because they're not afraid to be like, no, this is broken. Nope, this isn't good. Nope, this part is not good. This part is good. They're very honest with their reviews. So like they. not naming names, but there are reviewers out there who you can tell are a little, I feel aren't as.
Sketchy.
No, I won't even say
As
sketchy. I don't
genuine.
want to use sketchy. Like they're just maybe afraid to be honest when something isn't good or something's wrong.
Or they cut out the piece of the video where the thing
Yeah.
didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know
So,
Paul. I was looking at the chat, and Paul R said something about reviewers being in bed with the companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Because I check out reviews, from here and there when I can, and sometimes I wonder. I wonder.
Mhm.
so
I know
that's
a
the
lot of
thing.
people get accused
Oh,
of
I'm
it
sure
too.
there's some. I'm sure there are
No, I
some.
know there's probably a lot.
But
Yeah.
I think it falls again to what I was just saying earlier about the having somebody to blame. I bought this toy, it's broken. Sony said it was good. Therefore, Sony must be in their pocket because there's no way I
Yeah.
bought this toy
That's
like
the
because I'm an
funniest.
idiot. It's got to be
Every time I
Sony's fault.
every time I get that comment of,
How much is Fansoys paying you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish they would send me stuff for free. That'd be
Right.
great.
I said, I'm
That
like,
would be
did you see
great.
my subscriber count? Like, they're not
There,
sending me
yeah.
for free. Like, what are you talking about?
Their shit's getting expensive. I will shill all day for some free stuff from Fans Toys, man. Don't even lie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Up until that, so I used to be able to say to anybody that said something like that, I have never gotten a figure for free ever, not once. The only thing I've ever gotten free is 3D printed stuff, which I don't consider that
Mm-hmm.
a manufactured thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody in their
That's a
house
hobby
running.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a hobby.
Mm.
Now I have got something for free, so I can't say that anymore. But I still said what I feel. Like I tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and the company didn't. And that's one thing. If they told me you had to say these things and you can't say these other things, then I'd be like, then don't send it to me
Do
because
they re- do they require a review of your video before you could post it?
nope.
Like we have to see it before you post it out?
I had no.
Mm.
The only stipulation I got from them ever was they sent me a package with Chinese writing on it, and they said don't show that in the video because we're going to make a U.S. package. So
Okay.
leave that, and that was it. They never said anything about my review or my opinion or how I shot the video or the good or bad things I said.
Gotcha.
Which is perfect. Like that's what I
Right.
want. I don't
That's
want to
good.
be controlled by somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so funny when I get a comment like that. I mean, I don't know if you've gotten that before, Ben, but
Yeah.
like, oh, you're just saying that because they sent you the figure for free,
Mm.
or Fan Stores is paying you. I'm like, I wish they'd pay me.
Yeah. That's what I.
Yeah. No, I've heard from a various amount of y'all that do these reviews that y'all don't get the stuff for free. They send you the stuff, and a lot of times they'll have a shipping box. They'll have a shipper to resend it back to them so they can get it back. Or they'll tell you, we'll let you hold on to it, but you got to say this, that, and there's a condition to you keeping it, and if you can't keep it, if you can't do that, you got to send it back to them, and
Yeah.
y'all work out that way. I've had actually heard that, so it's just like, okay, well,
See,
it is what
I've
it
never
is.
gotten a figure, so on that side, but I do know that a lot of companies do that because I get a lot of stuff on the tech side for free,
Mhm. Okay.
and they try that, and that's one thing I don't do. I don't let you review my video. I don't let you tell me what to say in my video, or I won't take the product.
Mm.
But I know it's widespread with all companies, so I'm sure figure wise they do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a review for a tape or no some MMC figure. I can't remember what it was. And Eddie, I'm still really good friends with Eddie. Eddie's awesome guy, one of the
Oh
most
yeah,
honest people in the business.
Toy Dojo.
Yeah, Toy Dojo. And he said MMC saw your video and they didn't like that you said such and such. I was like, I paid for that figure. I paid full price,
Right.
just like any other
Mhm.
person out there. Like,
Mhm.
why can't I say what I want to say? It's not like somebody sent it to me for free or
Right.
somebody sent me, a sample or something like that. Like Peak, I can understand, because he's getting it a pre-production sample for one that's like it's not even the final product. So there's some things that might not be final, and he's working for them because he's making videos, review videos, not review, instruction videos. So I can kind of understand them saying like, "Hey, I didn't like this or that" in your video, critiquing it.
Mm.
But like, I'm not. Nobody's gonna critique my video and tell me how to rank a video. So if that ever happens, then that's it. That's the end of my relationship with that company or whatever. Like if Blocky says something, if they said, you can't say whatever. I don't know. I said the eyes are light up eyes on this one,
Mhm.
but because they're light up eyes, they're translucent. So unless it's lit up,
They're dead.
they're dead eyes, right? So I
Mhm.
said that in the review. I said it looks good when it's lit up, but they're dead eyes, and I'm gonna paint it because I think it looks better if it's painted. They didn't say anything to me, but if they did, I'd be like, well, then don't send it to me for free, because I had to be able to say that so that people know, oh, you're getting a figure. It looks good, but the eyes could stand to be painted. I gotta be able to be honest about it. Otherwise, what am I doing? Like I'm trying to give you my opinion,
Yeah.
and you're trusting me to tell
Mm.
you what I think.
Yeah.
Well, I got that Magic Square Minosaur, and I will admit that's one of the first videos of Ben's that I ever watched, because I'd met him I think once before at one of the parties before, but I didn't know he was a reviewer. I just thought he was like a guy around in the realm and stuff like that. And the first one I watched was Minosaur, and I really like that figure. So that's definitely not his fault. Because if it had been bad, that'd be your fault, Ben. But since it's a good figure, it's my fault for knowing what I'm doing by buying a good figure. But jokes aside, man, that was a good video, and I did enjoy it. And Sony,
Oh,
I could
thank
talk
you.
for hours of how many of your videos I've watched over the years. I mean, it's it's fun to get to meet you guys and start to see the person behind the camera, because it's weird as I actually I knew Sony from the monthly uh call meetings that we have,
Mhm.
like in there talking and stuff, so I knew the voice. And then one day I was watching the video and it clicked that it was the same dude, and but it still wasn't a face, like he
Yeah,
still
I
had his
remember Ricky.
camera
I
up.
remember I think you told me that at the party was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's you."
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's the
yeah,
voice click. It was the
yeah.
voice that did it, and it's cool to actually get to meet y'all and like actually get to go and enjoy the stuff that y'all are doing. But do know that besides the ass whooping I'll give you on a spades table, I will take tremendous issue with both of you if I ever buy a toy and you guys looked at it and didn't tell me not to buy it. And we will have words that day. I'm gonna be them assholes on the internet, but
Work
jokes
it
aside,
out.
y'all are good dudes, and I do appreciate y'all coming on. It's not it's weird sometimes. I would think, I'm not in y'all's shoes, but just even getting this close to the outside of the bubble of interacting with a big group of people, that something you say about a toy can affect a few thousand people's opinions on it, and you have that power to sway that. I think that's it's all awe inspiring and kind of scary to me. Like being in your shoes, I wouldn't like that, because don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I buy crazy shit. Like just buy what you want to. Save the receipt. If you don't like it, send it back. You know what I mean? Like don't. It's weird. It's weird.
Mhm.
Shut up, Scott. But I appreciate y'all for coming on tonight. And like neither one of y'all hesitated. We reached out and hit you up. Hey, you want to come on? Sure. Let's do it. And you made time to make it happen. So I just wanted to get that in before anybody else
Thanks,
got
Ricky.
wild away. I said I
I
liked y'all
appreciate it.
first.
I
I mean,
appreciate it.
anybody else that says they like y'all, they just copying me. Don't listen to
You know,
them.
you reminded me of something. I don't know why I thought of this, but that part is not the hardest part at all.
Hmm.
Like when people leave comments like that or
Hmm.
whatever, they don't agree. I like that. I want to hear your opinion. I want you to say why I was wrong,
Hmm.
or why what I said wasn't
Sometimes I am wrong.
correct.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
people
I
leave
mean,
comments and be like, "Oh, well, you ain't do this." Sometimes it does get on your nerves, but it's not. It's
Hmm.
coming
yeah,
from a good place. So
Hmm.
I haven't gotten any crazy comments. So
yeah. But
I
but I will
appreciate it.
say the thing that I did get that's a problem is racist comments.
Yeah, personal
It
attack.
Mhm.
still
Oh
Yeah,
man.
happens
that's
in
the
this
worst.
day and age. I can't believe it. Like Google's really so YouTube has stepped up their game over
Yeah,
and
they
over.
block a lot.
They block most of it, like almost all of
Hmm.
it. But in live streams, for whatever reason, it's still not blocked. They're able
No.
to come through. And the other day I was doing a stream and I had Sanjay on. So it was 3 brown guys on a stream. And somebody had to say something about that. Somebody had to say something about that being 3 brown guys. I'm just like, you're living in like 30 years ago.
Not even like further ago. That's
You know?
we should be well past that bullshit.
That's the one thing in YouTube that I still haven't gotten over is when that kind of stuff happens. I can't believe it. It just blows me away that people still.
Those are those 1%ers that are in those analytics that are 65
Did you?
and
That's
over.
just 65.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly who it
Luckily,
is.
I don't get a whole lot, but YouTube does a good job.
They
To tell
do.
you the
Yeah.
truth. With, block. Well, they don't block it from me, but they block it from being on the main feed. I can still see it, and that bothers me sometimes. But yeah,
It's rare. It's rare.
You tell them, Sony, you didn't go to 8 years of doctorate school to have somebody talk to you. To have to listen to that bullshit.
Oh my God. Why is he still getting you mixed up? Anyway,
hilarious.
yeah, that I guess that's never going to get old. But
Unlike you,
yeah, I like watching you guys because not only do you all give the information, but y'all are really entertaining when it comes to what you all do because there's some passion behind the stuff that you all are reviewing. You get excited about it. A lot of you get animated about it. You'll speak on specific points that regular people will miss. And I say regular people, it's just people that are just randomly watching it, or they just want to get a quick note about a couple of things. And one of the things that the one really special thing that I like that you do, Sony, is you section out your videos. You section them, you tabulate them where you can fast forward to certain points, and you have chapters in your videos where you can go to certain points where if you're trying to, like, if I want to go to one of your old videos, I'm
Yeah. You want to look at something. Yeah.
a transformation, I can go to your video and then just fast forward to the particular section that you marked off to say, here's where I start this point. And then I'll fast forward it and then get to that point, and then I got everything that I need right there. So
Yeah.
shout out to all of y'all that are actually doing that to help us out. When we're
You got to convince Bobby to do that because I will go straight to his final thoughts. I want to hear his final thoughts. Sometimes I just don't have time to watch the whole video, but I always want to hear his final thoughts, and I want to just click the button and go straight there.
I do that a lot.
I tried to convince him, and he didn't.
I do have a lot of reviewers sometimes.
It's work.
Yeah, it's an extra step, especially when you're doing a lot. Like it's extra to do them chapters, but
I know. Yeah.
I know with longer videos, everybody ain't got time to watch the 30, 40-minute video, which I understand. Like it doesn't bother me.
And I'm gonna put on you reviewers, all your videos should be transformation both directions in each video. Both directions.
I was doing that for a while, and I stopped.
I know, but let me tell you, like, if you have to use a video and they're transforming bot to alt mode, and you're trying to get from alt to bot mode, working that shit backwards and having to pause it and catch up to where they're at, that shit is.
I always do it from how it came. That's because that was my pet peeve when I first started looking at videos. Like I think some people do it from the easiest mode, the easier way it is, or. So I always try to do it the way it comes from out the box.
See, my biggest problem is when I got in, I was buying secondhand from people, so it had already been transformed, and it might be in a different mode just with the box.
That's like you're talking another hour and a half.
Hey, that sounds like a you problem. I just need you to happen on all your videos, or I'm blaming you for everything, man.
So volume, I can do that. I don't have as much volume as Sony.
Yeah, Ben, you do it for all of us.
And that's it.
Man.
Sounds like I'm just subscribing to Ben only. Got it. Heard. I'm just playing Sony.
Now
Has
Sony got to send me some figures so so I can do them.
When is AI going to come in and help us and make things easy?
They're writing all these stupid
Yeah, just
fucking
run it
movies
in
about to
reverse.
help y'all.
AI never helps with what it needs to help with, just like the robots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think YouTube should come out with that reverse function where you can watch it in reverse,
In
because
reverse.
that's when it'll definitely come in handy when
Yeah.
y'all are doing that thing and forward, and then you just reverse it and watch you do it the exact way it's supposed to be in reverse.
The first time I do that, I'm like, dude, if you play Sony's video for Phoenix backwards, he tells you to worship Satan. Like you hear at the 3 minute and 45-second mark.
No, you get it without audio because you can't have audio in reverse.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's
and that's
your
the thing that
answer.
they gotta definitely make sure that they don't do it. They do the reverse function. Don't
bring
let
go
the
to bed to
audio
drunk.
play. Right. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah. Shout out to
All right,
all that
Missy.
you all do, man. It's absolutely incredible. The time that you all put into everything, and with everything that we asked y'all tonight, I'm glad we were able to, get some insight on, a lot of that process, and it really is inspiring, and we appreciate you all sharing that with us.
I hate the fact Scott and I both had the same joke come out of us at the same time. That makes me sad. Knowing what that man ingests makes
Appreciate
me sad.
that, Paul.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time on the show.
No, definitely. Don't make it the last
Oh,
time.
we wrapping up. I didn't mean to wrap. I wasn't trying to wrap y'all up.
I thought you were.
Oh, you sound like you was playing the music on us.
I was just, nah. I'm just
Wrap
showing some
it
love,
up, B. Wrap it up. We're gonna get one of those wrap it up.
I'm just showing y'all some love,
I appreciate
Ricky
the
did it.
love.
Ricky did it earlier.
No, I was just giving love. I wasn't shutting them down. You see the difference there, Derek? I was just giving love. You like, okay, I love you guys. Get the fuck out. That's different.
No, I wasn't doing that. But nah, I wanted to give y'all your flowers, you know what I mean? Because y'all are really inspiring this community. You all are the bright point. You all are two of the bright points in our community. And I know, wrap it up, Gort. You all are
you're passing out all these flowers,
I mean this with all sincerity. You are two of the bright points in our community, and we appreciate everything that you all do for us, so we don't have to work as hard in trying to figure all this stuff out. So
he don't speak for me. Y'all all right. Get better at space, and then I'll reassess for you.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. How little I get to see you guys, so it's been great. Taking time out on a Friday night, I really appreciate it. Live shows are not usually, people don't usually like to do live shows sometimes, but this way we don't got to edit.
I'm trying to do more on my channel, more live. So I'm gonna start going live.
We don't put chapters in this shit. There ain't none of that.
Yeah,
you gotta watch the whole thing.
You gotta watch the entire thing, because I tell you, with our shows, if you blink, you're gonna miss it. So we go over a lot of important stuff on our stuff. So yeah.
Another thing we didn't talk about in
Stop laughing, EE. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sony.
One thing we didn't talk about is money. YouTube.
Oh yeah.
YouTube pays
monetization.
the YouTube pays you through monetization due to ads that they show. And I've been in the red the whole time. I've never made money off of YouTube.
Really?
My costs always. So when I do my taxes, Google sends me a 1099 because I get paid by Google. They basically, for the ads that they show during my videos, I get a 1099, and then all of the expenses far outweigh the income. So it's always in the red every year. Every year it's in the red. I've never made money on it. And when I say it's in the red, I'm talking about camera, figures, any like computer software, stuff that I need to like, just stupid shit. Like I need a thumbnail maker. I have a piece of software to make thumbnails.
Yeah.
Because that's part of videos now. You have to learn how to make thumbnails. And all the stuff adds up.
Everybody click on it.
Yeah, and
I
it's like a
saw
little
a video that said that.
what?
I saw a video that said put boobs in your thumbnails. Everybody clicks on
Oh, that's for sure.
That's
That's
yeah,
that's
that'll work.
guaranteed click.
them.
But yeah, it's just all this stuff adds up, and then it's like people are like, "Oh, you must be." If I didn't have a real job, I'd be bankrupt, man. I mean, there's
Mm,
there's no way to do
okay.
this. So it's really not about the money. If somebody said something about it earlier in the comments, I just sort of mention it. If you're doing this for money, then you definitely are doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
You have to do it
it's
because
very
you
few.
enjoy it.
There's it's some and
Select few.
I
Yeah.
yeah I see some that are really probably kicking off, but they
You
also
had to,
doing some other stuff too. So
yeah, you had
it's
to be
like
in since like
not
day
being
one and
as
have like a
honest
million
as
subscribers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Not
Right.
listen,
only that, you have to have
MGO,
product
right.
way before it comes out, and how you
Mhm.
get that product might not always be great. So
Lunch bag special, baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
MGO's made a career of it, and if you can look up his income on Social
yeah,
Blade,
Social Blade. Yeah, you
and
can look up
there's
anybody.
a range, and if I made that money was my like income, my full time income, then I wouldn't even be able to support my family, a house. It's just
Mhm.
so it's hard. I mean, if you're trying to do this as a career, it's
Hmm.
definitely not. It's not viable.
No,
Yeah.
it's
So
not.
It's
It's not
it's a
easy to get there.
grind that's gonna never stop.
Mm-mm.
I
At
imagine.
least not with
So
toys.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then YouTube just redid the monetization thing like a couple years ago too, didn't they? Like screw everybody out of like monies, like how
yeah,
they made the rules tighter in order to even make anything off of them now.
right. And
Yeah,
then I didn't really care about it because it wasn't. It's not
Okay,
my
yeah. It
yeah,
thing.
didn't, I don't think it affected like toy reviewers really.
yeah. We already in the red. What you gonna do? Put me in more
Yeah,
red? It's okay.
But like
right.
kids channels that affected a lot. Like my boy has a kids channel, Kid Toy Reviews. His son
Okay.
does, and he's got like he blew up, but due to the rules now, he's not making anything. Like
Oh
he
Mm,
got like
man, those
65,000 subscribers in like 2 months,
right.
and
Wow.
those kid channels, like I
those
don't know
kids
if you
channels
guys
blow
ever
up.
heard of A for
Mhm.
Adley.
Mhm.
Oh my God, my daughter's not can't stop watching
Yeah,
this
them
to go
kids
with her
need
Really.
kids
family.
support.
And I'm
Kids
like, what are
support.
you just, what are you doing? Like, they're not even doing anything. You're just watching her play with her family. But I need a backpack. I need a T-shirt. I need.
Yep.
It's like,
Hmm.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, little girl, you need to start doing stuff that we can record.
Mhm.
Let's
It's
put
it's
you on
harder
YouTube.
now. It's harder to you know make money due to. I mean, and rightfully so. It's a lot of people out there trying to exploit kids, but
Yeah,
yeah, but it is. It's a lot harder for the kids now. The kids channels.
Oh
Yeah. So that's
wow.
what like this, shows like this. That's what keeps me interested. So I would definitely have given. I would have been gone.
Definitely, because I think about quitting every week. So, like, but
I
I
know the
can't. Then I
feeling.
get a new figure, and
Sure.
I'm like, well, I wanna review this figure still. So let me
Yeah.
Yeah.
do it.
Wow.
All right,
That's
Gort, you
that's
gotta
it.
tell them how awesome they are before we can get out of here.
Mm-mm.
It's your turn. Spotlight's on you, dude.
Yes, it is.
You don't have to
Well,
say we're awesome. Like, I'll take an honest review.
no, well,
That's what
well,
it's
it's
all
funny
about, right?
because then I
Honesty,
tell him
right?
to fuck himself, not you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Everybody unsubscribe. Gort, look what you did. You ruined my channel.
No, but listen, thank you guys for coming onto the show. And look, you gave us a lot of insight. You gave us a lot of information into the process and what you guys do, why you're doing it. And I think that that's almost more important that you're doing it because you're enjoying what you do
Yeah.
and you're sharing and you're buying your toys, you're sharing your toys and teaching us how to like get it done. And there's a lot of times where I don't know what I'm doing with some of these figures, especially when they retool things and you guys like you're there to take care of business really and just
Hmm.
keep us afloat. And I don't feel like any of these instructions that we get, they don't do any justice to these products.
No.
It's all you guys.
Oh God, no. I long
Paper
time ago, I
instructions are
stopped even
horrendous.
bothering re-looking at the instructions that come with
Yeah,
them.
they're trash.
No,
Yeah.
they're good for nothing.
Imagine there's no videos and you get a figure and you have to look at the instructions.
I'd have
Nah,
bailed. I would
yeah.
have bailed after like my first or second one. I would
Listen,
have been like, yeah, no, this
imagine you
ain't
got
for me.
Star Toys, and I think Star Toys is one of my in the ships. I don't even know what the ships are called. The I think I was like one of the first videos. I couldn't find a single video because I was like, this thing is crazy.
And
Like,
then the
You
video
talking about
came
the
out.
aircraft carriers?
yeah, the crack aircraft
Yeah,
carriers,
I
that
can't remember.
design,
Yeah, I
all
know
of them.
exactly what you're talking about.
Every
I was
single one
like,
I got.
hell
I
no.
think I was the first one doing a video, and that was insane. That
And then
now that you asked me how long that took, that was
Scott says you're going to do a show on reviewing the reviewers.
All right, so we'll be getting out of here. Ben, tell us where you're at.
well, you can find me on YouTube, of course. Influences interest. Also got a new podcast, What We Thinking. That's on a different channel, but it's not collecting. We discuss everything. We do discuss some collecting on there.
Plug it, man. It don't matter. Plug it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so there we go, right there.
At Influence.
Obviously, YouTube TM reviews. I was short sighted, not like Ben. You know, TM review stands for Transformers Masterpiece. So if this whole thing ends, then I'm probably going to let the channel die.
Are you going to change it to TMG now?
But it's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook are my like main platforms. I'm working on something with Bobby. I'm trying to convince him for a long time to do a show,
Yeah,
like a reviewer show, but I still haven't convinced him yet. So maybe
he's doing a lot.
one day
Yeah,
I'll be
Bobby's busy.
on his show. We'll see.
But I'm sure that y'all will work that out, because Bobby's always looking out for us, and making sure that he stays connected with all of us. So
Yeah.
Bobby's he's just that guy, So I hope
guys-
whatever
you
y'all
should-
got going on, y'all work it out.
You should have him on here because
We've had him.
We've
on here.
had him on
Okay.
here.
Tell us you don't watch our show without telling us you don't watch our show, son.
It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was the
within our
first year.
first year.
The first
It was
year we
within
did.
the first year. It's been a
Show-
while since Bobby.
Show
Okay.
number 48. You only had to watch 46 other episodes, Sony. You'll be okay.
So he's an insane person. Like I don't know how it's humanly
One of
possible
ours
to
got
make
pulled.
that many videos, that much content. It's just not feasible. Like I don't know how he does it.
He's a robot, dude. I can't either. I've asked and he's tried to explain it to me and I still can't.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
all the content on the Patreon, family,
Mhm.
everything. It's just
Knowing what
And-
it takes to
Yeah.
put into this
Mhm.
and see how much content is
Mhm.
insane to me.
And the fact that he thinks it's not enough. He thinks he should
Yeah.
be doing more for the Patreon. It's crazy.
bless him and bless his wife too
Yeah, Miss
for
Laura's thing.
for supporting it all, because I know if I tried to do as much as Bobby did, I'd be doing
Right.
it in an apartment by myself. I was
know that's
worried about
right.
my alimony payments. Yeah, no. Like I need more reviews. I got alimony. No.
Yeah, but that's why we love what y'all do, man. Y'all sacrifice that time just to, keep us informed. So, thanks. Appreciate you.
Thanks for
Definitely
having us on.
appreciate
Yeah.
it all.
And shout out to all the reviewers that were in the chat and the ones that you mentioned like Pike. We had Dare in the
Pike.
chat as well. We had Dare in the chat as well. So, shout out to Dare. He was, on here, shouting y'all out, but want to take the time to shout out him as well.
Darren does reviews? I didn't know that.
Darren,
You serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does stuff every now and then.
More
Darren, I love you to death,
He
brother.
doesn't like
I
My
didn't
soul,
like once-
he's my
he does
sole
it like
member
once a
on my
month.
channel.
do it.
Started memberships. I don't really promote it, but it's like he's my.
Oh, he
sole
was
member.
promoting you in the chat earlier. He's telling
Yeah,
people to
he
go
was.
sign up for.
Oh yeah, he's been a supporter. I think from like day one of mine. So
Okay.
shout out to him.
Yeah,
Hey,
sir.
I didn't want to forget. I had to give you guys shit, everyone except for Derek, because nobody's coming to BotCon, and we're gonna go out there. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna
Yeah.
party, and you guys will be missing it.
I wish I
So
could
Mm,
Yeah,
come.
missing
I
it's
out.
wanted to
it's
come.
That
there's too
yeah, y'all
much,
hitting
too
that.
much
Y'all
going
gonna hit
on,
that.
man.
Yeah, that FOMO spike is gonna be real.
yep,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
at States. I'm not gonna be worried about it too
I'm gonna
much.
send
Mm-hmm.
pictures of us playing spades, of us
Oh, I
playing
don't know
playing
about all
First of
that.
all,
You
quarters.
know,
first of all, if I'm not there, you're not playing spades. You're just flipping cards over. So I don't know what
right,
you're
Uh,
talking about.
man. But nah, we're gonna definitely get that in again, Sony. I can't wait. Because now
yep.
now that you're now that you're kind of broken in, we'll get it tightened up. You know what I mean?
I knew he was gonna
Sony, I think I
Um,
almost broke Sony. Like he was not expecting the amount of shit talking I was doing on that table. He looked at me one time. He's like, I didn't think you was gonna talk that much shit. Like, I was like, this is the best part about spades, and I'm not even drunk yet. You should see me when I'm drunk playing spades.
gonna happen again. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen again.
okay.
Well,
So,
Derek,
mhm.
tell us where you're at. Tell us about BotCon since we're not going to be there.
Oh wow. Okay, so
What's happening?
you can find me Derek B on your Book of Faces. You can also find me on Instagram as Derek What B. You can also find me here on the Realmhattan Project every other Friday. You also see me on Tuesdays. Every other Tuesday, we got something coming up on this Tuesday for Do You Even Transform, Bro? In 2 weeks, Sony will be at Fort Wayne, Indiana for BotCon 2024 for the 30th anniversary show. A lot of exciting things that's going to be happening for that show. I know y'all have seen some of the exclusives that have been dropped already. Got a couple more coming, and that y'all are gonna, really like as hopefully y'all will really like as well. But yeah, man, I'm super excited about getting out of this house in a couple of weeks to go get that work in. All right, that's what's up.
yes, let's do it.
Ricky.
I'm Ricky Who on the book of faces.
Wow.
And you can, Ricky McGinley, you find me around in the groups, in group chats. If I'm not here, I'm at work. If I'm not working, I'm on baseball field. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Eric.
Eric
You can
Win.
find you. You,
Exactly.
you can,
Oh,
you can
Hank.
find me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me here every other Friday on Realmhattan Project. Stay tuned tonight for there will be an unbroadcasted hangout afterwards. Um, also, everybody, let's not forget.
August.
Save the date, August 23 to 25th.
Yep.
Realm Nation. Expect to
The
see everybody
test shot.
there. Sony's in here giving us all this shit about missing BotCon. Better see you there also.
Mhm.
You said you're hitting all of them this year, you and Ben,
Yeah,
so you guys
Sony.
better be there.
So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
only
I'm gonna
briefly,
be
I know
there.
Sony gonna
I
be
live
there.
like
Come
20
on now.
minutes from there, so
Why wouldn't
so
Sony be there? And
I'm
then
gonna
I
be there.
know Ben gonna be there. You
I've
know.
only briefly heard about it. So can you
To
high
NJC.
level
Yeah, I
summary
haven't heard much either.
about this?
Well, high
I have to
level
date.
is pretty much exactly what this is. I wish Chris or one of them were on right now. Information has been save the date so far, like a save, like just look at that like a save the date
Yeah.
wedding. Realm is doing something with NJCC weekend at Cherry Hill, New Jersey. There's going to they keep telling us stay tuned. We're looking at this like a test shot Realm convention, like their first one. So.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And as you can see, Chris is plugging away right now. Tune into
Interesting.
Right.
ETR Monday.
Stay
There's going to be
tuned.
finally more
ETR
information revealed. So
this coming Monday. Check out ETR for more information on Realm Nation, the test shot.
Yeah,
Cherry Hill, New
that's
Jersey, August
reveal.
23rd through the 25th.
I
That says
believe the hotel
revealed.
block
So that's
is
past
already
tense.
up. Right, the hotel block is already up, so you
Yeah.
can book your rooms. The rates are actually pretty damn good for the
Uh,
Oh
the
yeah.
couple
that is
nights.
on
Definitely. Go to
realmcollectors.com.
realmofcollectors.com. You'll see the Realm Nation, the test shot promo. If you click on that, it'll take you right to
Do you want to
the
take over,
Cherry Hill,
Derek?
New Jersey.
Okay.
It'll
Go
take you
ahead,
right.
Derek.
Well, no, I'm just saying it'll take you right to the link to book your room for that weekend, and like EE said, the rate for the hotel that we got for that weekend is incredible. It's going to be very hard not to want to go after you see that rate, and on top of that, get to hang out with us and get to see a great show that weekend. So y'all make sure y'all check out ETR Monday night, this coming Monday night at 8 p.m. on your Realm of Collectors YouTube channel, like you're on here now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
last, I'm Gort, and you can find me here every other Friday. And don't forget, we also have ETR on Monday. We have Do You Even Transform Bro on Tuesdays. Wednesdays is alternating Shelf Gravy and Figure Banging. And that'll do.
Say it with me now.
Realm